Dolphinkin origin created by the Discord user known as Cole Sands. This is a 2-impact origin. Fast, playful, aquatic people that live in the sea. You got high lung capacity. You only start to suffocate after 5 minutes underwater. Basically speaking, you've got water breathing potion effects for about 5 minutes before you actually start to suffocate underwater. Which means you can just spend a very long period of time underwater. It's not like you can spend a permanent period of time, but it's enough that you don't have to worry too much. And all you need to do is get some form of magma block, if I can find one down here. Oh yeah, what you need to do is get some form of magma block, go into it, and... oh, it doesn't reset it. So that doesn't reset the ability, but in order to reset the actual cooldown of this effect, we have to find our way back to the surface, I'm assuming. And if we go out of water, go back in, it's back now to being reset. So it won't reset by giving yourself air bubbles underwater. It will only ever reset this timer if you hit the surface world, which is definitely a very interesting thing there. I don't know if that was meant to be a quirk that's a part of this, or whether that's just something that happened because of how it was all programmed, but it's something to keep in mind. Carnivore, you can only eat meat. Pretty simple explanation here. If we just go to creative mode here and look at the foods, as you can see, anything that is not a meat is disabled from your eat at ability. Though, is cake a part of the equation? Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. We got up here, let's do this. It looks like you can still eat cake perfectly fine. That's pretty neat. Fast swimmer. You can swim incredibly quickly. We move at a pretty steady pace when we're not even swimming anyway. We go into swim mode. You can now swim pretty fast. I would say this is kind of the same. This might be the same. No, it'd be slightly slower pace than Dolphin's Grace on top of your normal speed. When you get Dolphin's Grace, though, from another dolphin, you zippity zip like a madman. But yeah, your swimming speed is pretty decent to start off with, and as I said, Dolphin's Grace adds onto it, makes it stupid. Grant of Grace. You can right-click on an entity to give them 30 seconds of Dolphin's Grace. I'm surprised there's no permanent Dolphin's Grace since you're actually a Dolphinkin. Well, you know, I don't think dolphins have Dolphin's Grace permanently in Minecraft either. Like what? If we right-click on him, yeah, now the dolphin has Dolphin's Grace. Yeah, the dolphin's definitely noticeably a bit faster than before as well. Because like, it looks like dolphins in Minecraft don't also have Dolphin's Grace. This thing. Spam it onto the squid. Spam it onto this squid. There are some noticeable speed increases. I need to find that drowned. Where's the drowned hiding? So if we right click the drowned. Oh yeah, the drowned's moving a bit faster. That's so stupid. Just imagine just doing this. So yeah, you can just give Dolphin's Grace to anyone. The ability will last 30 seconds and you can literally just spam it on them. Like, there's no cooldown to this ability. You may think that might be a touch overpowered, but when it comes down to it, dolphins literally spam it on you consistently. If you're always around a dolphin, the dolphin's continuously giving you Dolphin's Grace over and over again. So it kind of makes sense why it doesn't really have a cooldown. Because whenever you're surrounding a dolphin in Minecraft, it's continuously giving you a rebirth of Dolphin's Grace over and over again with no form of cooldown. Tail launch. You can use your tail to spring yourself forwards. Activate with this as your primary ability. Okay, so we press G. Oh yeah, it's just like a nice little burst of speed underwater. And you can use it to just bounce out of the water. That's cool. Boing! Splash. Boing! Ow. Does this ability work outside of water? No, this ability will not. So this ability will not work when you're outside of water. If it's raining, you can just activate this ability. Regardless of whether you're touching water or not, because it technically counts as rain. Nice. Sunburn. You get weakness when directly exposed to the sun. You have this little bar of the sun. This will only ever be ticking up when you're exposed to the sunlight. So if we set to midnight, this shouldn't be going up. Yeah, so only if you're in sunlight, this will go up. If it's not in sunlight, it won't go up. So if we put it back to time, set, day again. So when you're directly exposed to sunlight, this bar will be creeping up. Not really that slowly, but it's creeping up. So far it doesn't look like it gives you any form of effects over time whilst you're out of it. I'm assuming it will only actually affect you once you reach peak. So we're at the next bar, still nothing. And then now we max out. We start burning in the day. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, that was... We're still pretty bright. We need to get in water. Okay, that's interesting. Unsteady gait. You move unsteadily on land. Movement speed penalty is negative 10%. You know, that makes sense why you don't notice much of a difference. Okay, I can see. Like, by really just hyper analyzing that, yeah, I can see that speed slight decrease. But when it comes down to it, you can just jump sprint to avoid it. To Xeon, is there a penalty for air movement as well, or is it just only affecting your normal walking and running speeds? Because I can definitely feel like actually taking a moment to pay attention to it, I can see the notable decrease. But when you sprint jump, it is pretty much non-existent. According to the person who's looking in the code right now, it's apparently around 10% decrease, and it affects you whenever you're not submerged in water. So it affects you all the time on land. So really, it's a small amount of decrease. It's not going to be something that will hyper affect you too much unless you're doing things such as parkour. That's probably when you'll pick up on your slightly decreased momentum, because it's not really that different. Deep vision, you can see clearly while underwater. If we go back to third person, you can, if you pay attention to the lighting around, you can see it brighten up whenever I go into the water. Like, you can see it not just in the water, but everywhere gets an increase of vision. Ability you can turn off. I mean, I've got a question. Why would you turn this off? Why would you turn off this vision? Aquatic arms, you break block on the water as easily as on land. It's basically aqua affinity. It just allows you to... That's not a really good representation, using a bare hand on a... As you can see, you break blocks normally. When you're floating... Oh, it even works when you're floating. Sometimes they don't quite get that right. Because the floating is also its own indication as well. It's very weird. But yeah, you've just got normal mining speed at all times. Pretty neat. There's not much more there.